returns. I can do individual tax preparation, partnerships, S corporations, corporation returns, C corporation returns, nonprofit returns. So any tax return that you might have to file, I can prepare it.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, when you talk about a bookkeeping service, that's different than taxes, right?
Yes, those are what you do during the year to keep, records
time
of,
to do taxes,
and if people who have a business, keeping track of their income and expenses going in and out, and preparing maybe a profit and loss statement at the end of the year to show what their profit was. That's what I usually use to prepare a business return, that profit and loss statement.
Do you see the same thing with business owners as you do with consumers, as far as the lack of knowledge of?
Oh yeah, a lot of times I'll get clients that have businesses, and then they come with their information that they have, and they haven't kept track of what they spent. They haven't kept their receipts, and I guess I always look at things from the end. The worst possible thing can happen to a person is they be audited, and all an audit is just prove what we put down on this paper. So before I prepare a return or send it in, I want to make sure what I'm filing is what you have records of. So if you're a daycare provider and you bought groceries all year round and you did not keep one receipt, I'd be real leery of putting that as an expense, although the IRS knows it should be an expense. But if you don't keep records, if you were ever in an audit, it would be disallowed, and you would be paying more taxes on that business because you did not keep correct records, and they want to see those records. In an audit, they want to see those receipts for every time you went to the grocery store or bought supplies, If you drive your vehicle for your business, they either want to see, and it's either or, actual receipts for gas or car repairs, and then you let them know what percentage you use this car for business, or you can use a mileage. A person in business that uses their vehicle for business gets 55 cents a mile. And if you keep a log of where you went during the year, that log is record, and the IRS knows there's no receipt for a log. But if you produce that log, that would suffice them. So it's just things that people need to keep and have record of when they have a business, and it's just very, very important.
One of the things is, in today's economy and the way the technology is today, you can do things that can be, for example, with gas, buying gas.
Mm-hmm.
You can buy with a credit card.
Yes.
And that'll be a record for you, won't it?
Actually, you're correct. A lot of times I'll tell people that are in business, if you have a business, get a business account and use that account just for business. Actually, by swiping a card, when you look on a bank statement, if you swiped a card, it's going to show that you went to Amico.
Right.
It's going to show that you went to Walmart or to Sam's. It will say the name. But a lot of times when you write a check and you look at the bank statement, it's just going to say that check number, and actually have a copy of that check with you.
But they don't do that anymore.
No.
They don't give you checks back.
No, they don't give you checks back anymore.
You can go online and see the check.
Right, up to a certain point. I think after 2 months, the bank that I use, you can't even look at it. Some companies, if they had to, could give you a microfiche. They keep microfiche of those checks, but you're going to pay a fee for them to retrieve that.
Like they're doing your bookkeeping for you.
Right. So actually, if a person didn't keep copies of receipts and they actually use a certain account to do their transactions, that bank statement is another good record, and it's proof to the IRS that you did, have these items and that you spent money for them. So
a backup system.
Yeah, so it's good to have both. It's actually great to have the receipts, but if worst thing came, to have that checking account that showed that you did go to Office Max and buy supplies, a lot of that would be acceptable to them.
Do you have a favorite kind of tax you like?
No.
To do?
No, I don't think so.
Really?
I like individuals because I really like helping people figure out what they can and cannot do.
Now,
individual tax return.
That's not businesses, though.
That's not businesses.
Okay,
just individual. I like working with people and helping them figure out how they can maximize what they get back. Since we are in this tax world, I really like doing that. Businesses, a little bit more complicated, a little more timely it takes for me to do them. So I don't know. I do all, but I kind of like working with individuals.
Now, see, when you talk about working with individuals and you're working with them for just that one time, though,
Yes.
you know, as opposed to a business, it's like, okay, you got a lot more than an individual, and there's going to be a lot of documentation that's necessary.
Right.
That's not necessary with individuals.
It just depends on what they are. If they don't have a business, no.
I mean, there's an individual who's like a student.
Right. And they're going. A lot of them are, you know, I say they're simple, but they don't need a lot of documentation, prepare, return. If you're a student and you work, you probably just need your W-2 from your job, that 1098 statement from your education facility, and that's probably would be all that you would need to prepare your return. Social Security card. I always got to see a driver's license to show that you are who you are, and those are things that we have to have as preparers, and actually are mandated by the Internal Revenue if you are a registered tax preparer with the IRS. And people can always go online and see if a person is a registered tax professional. We actually just had to take all tax preparers that are registered with Internal Revenue as preparers were mandated to take a competency test. And so after passing that competency test, what I did get to pass it, you are now on a list with Internal Revenue and are certified. And if anyone calls Internal Revenue and want to ask if I'm a certified tax preparer, my name would be on that list. And you could check anyone else if you have questioned if they're a professional or registered with the IRS as a professional tax preparer. You can actually call the IRS and they can let you know if that person is or if they're not. I'm Juanita Wilson, owner of Affordable Tax and Bookkeeping. You know, it's tax season time, and I love working with individuals and businesses in preparing their tax return. Give me a call at 402-453-4077, and let's see how much money we can get back for you.